have 1/2 of a green piece of paper. That's all you need. The other half can go in your folder for another day. We are going to make a page 5 in our comp book for this paper. So please go to your table of contents. Is that backwards for you? It's backwards on my screen. Okay. Page 5 will be POV. If you wrote it in our table of contents, you need to write it on the actual page. So go find page 5. Remember, write on the right, only on the right. Make it the thick side. Page 5, POV. Top line, definition. And I realize some of you don't have a comp book, never got a comp book. We are on page 5 of our notes. So at this point, you should know what your strategy was. Did you decide to make a Google Doc? Did you just get a chunk of loose leaf paper? We are on page 5. By now, you should know what is working for you. Please make sure you're taking these notes. You will need them. So, definition is actually a question. Who is telling the story? Make your page look like mine. This is where your green paper comes in. Teacher says, put it long ways up and down, fold the top to meet the bottom. Teacher says, don't really fold it, just kind of get to where you can see where halfway would be. Kind of pinch the top. There. See how I can tell where the halfway mark is? Okay, next step. With your scissors, you are going to cut only the top half. You're going to cut only the top, only the top. Leave this one. You're going to cut only the top. What do you mean hamburger? Yes, hamburger style. You'll fold it. It's already folded. Then you're going to go this way to find halfway because you're going to make 2 flaps. See? 2 flippy flaps. Looks like a pair of pants. We're gonna, I'll give you a second. Why don't you take this time to glue the back onto your page so it doesn't go anywhere. Go. We're gonna label our flippy flaps. There are 3 different ways someone can tell the story. We are only going to really care about 2 of them. Okay. The middle one, the second one, it doesn't happen very often. We're only going to work on 2 flippy flaps, 2 POVs, 2 points of view. So on this flap, first person point of view, first person POV. And if the definition is who is telling the story, well, in a first person point of view, made a bird. I made a bird. I connected the birds. Put words over here. And I drew our narrator. In a first person point of view, the person telling the story is in it. They are in the story. See how they're like literally in the book? They're in the story. It's happening to them. They can see everything. They're talking about everything. And they're going to use some key words. So let's open the flippy flap. Let's tell ourselves that in first person point of view, no pen, the narrator, N-A-R-R-A-T-O-R, the narrator, gosh, my writing is beautiful, is in the story. In a first person point of view, who is telling the story? Someone in it is telling the story. Narrator is in the story. If you're unsure how you're going to catch that, let's look for some keywords. I, me, my, mine, we, us, ours. Top flap, keywords. Bottom flap, definition. Make your book look like mine. That is first person. They're in the story. Well, you'll get to practice that in your video in a minute. So if it's not totally clear, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to move all the way to third person. I know some of you that might like hurt your brain a little. I'll let you know down here. Second person is talking to you like they know you, like they see you. And that's usually like in a self-help book or something. You should do this. You may think this. We don't use that much, so don't worry about it. Third person is the other big one, okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. Down at the bottom of your flippy flap. Gonna make a little bird. Oh, wow. Visible bird. There we go. Make a bird. Make a bird. Good. I'm glad. If the video game analogy helps you, that's perfect. That's great. Use it. Who said video games can't help you learn? Connect the birds. Leave the book blank. Leave it blank. Because we're going to come up here, draw our narrator, who is very clearly not in the story. They're going to tell us this. What is with my pens today? They are going to tell the story from outside of it. Make your page look like mine. They are telling the story from outside of it. Inside your flippy flap, we're going to do the definition down at the bottom. You should know what it is by now. The narrator, N-A-R-R-A-T-O-R, is outside the story. Special note time. You know there's always a but. Look out for the but. They might know characters' thoughts. They might. They might be super creepy and nosy, and they might know the character's thoughts. I feel like that's kind of how the landlady was. Billy wasn't saying, I was very cold. I walked to the house. I thought this lady was kooky. It wasn't first person. Somebody was talking about Billy like they were watching him outside of the story. But they still they knew what he was thinking. He thought the place looked all right. He thought that she was harmless. It's kind of nice knowing what the characters are thinking without them having to say it. Keywords goes on top of the flippy flap. If you see words like they or her or he, she, their, or somebody's name, that's third person. Make your flaps look like mine, except maybe even better because, you know, my writing is not that great.